Please note the views and opinions expressed by the hosts on this show are not necessarily the views held by the station.
You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now, it's our turn.
And good evening. Welcome to Outside the Box here on Critical Mass Radio. I'm your hostess, Kate of Gaia. Saturday night. Yeah, wow. Still airing from an undisclosed location somewhere in the Milky Way galaxy. I'm not quite sure where, but we're broadcasting. We're here. Yeah, what a beautiful day. It was extremely hot. We went out and about for a bit and spent a little time down by the lake observing all the extras, and didn't see any co-stars in the movie, but it was very interesting just to people watch and see yourself from a different perspective. And that's quite literally what you're doing when you're observing others. You're observing yourself. So don't be too hard on yourself, eh? Don't beat yourself up too much. Just thought I'd mention that just because. Anyway. Yeah, so see, there's the other thing, too, about actually getting some social time. Doesn't allow for a whole lot of introspect for, doing shows. Right? So you can tell when I'm absolutely focused and the difference when I'm actually out and about, and it's quite something. I think what I will like to discuss a bit tonight, and I know we've got Miranda. I was talking to Miranda earlier today. I know she's on fire. I want to discuss the movie Revelation. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but I will. But I'll open up your mic, Miranda, and where's one sec? Get down here, and we have, we'll throw Ninjas open as well. The Three Fates, right? But Miranda, are you there, honey?
Hey, lovely. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, great chat. Yeah, great chat earlier today. It was awesome.
Whoa, yeah. Wow. Woo!
I know, eh? And to top
yeah.
it off, I do look like that icon, don't I?
Yeah, just a bit.
Inside joke.
Oh.
Oh,
Yay. Yeah, it's been a very, very strange day, all told. And I've just finished it off by watching The Lone Ranger, which I've been giggling my head off to. That was hilariously funny and sweet and good. I enjoyed that. But Revelations, yeah, wow, what a film. I watched it several years ago, and it just came to me today. I should really watch that again, because I remember there was some sacred geometry in it, and there was a lot to do with masculine, feminine. And I just wrote reams and reams as I was watching it. It was spectacular.
Right on. Just before you get going, here's another one for Revelations. Like, you know how I hear words, right? And look at them, and it's like my eyes have scalpels now. I just look at words and go, sip, 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 sip. There it is. Okay. So, la, shuns. Okay? Re, as in Ra, you, the light of God. V from verily, truth. Right? Law, well, we know what that note's all about. It's kind of a shitty frequency on the planet. The Law Society, they own that note. And, of course, shuns. So it's about letting go of the illusion. Revelations. Keep going.
Well, where do we begin? It's very Masonic. It's about this chap who's obviously relative of the Templars. His son is just released from jail, who is a decoder. And he went to jail because he did some dodgy dealings with the bank for his father. And they're all looking for this box, which is the loculus, which has something to do with Jesus Christ, but in the beginning you're not really sure what it's to do with. But throughout time, the Templars have been trying to get hold of this box, yeah. Oh, my God. So box led me into the whole thing with Pandora. And then I started looking up the meaning of Pan, and, of course, the god Dora, and Dorothy and Oz. just mega. I can't even keep hold of it even.
It gets very overwhelming.
Yeah, it's so overwhelming, and I don't even know if I can really explain it.
Oh, welcome to my world. Yeah, that's every night, Again, guys, the key is in the phonics. It's like standing in your naked truth. You had taken out of that P is the inner key to the inner kingdom, right?
Yeah.
That was something you had put together as well. So everything is hidden in plain sight. You just got to have the eyes and ears, both of them, to see and hear it at the same time. Kindergarten guys and girls, it's show and tell time. Let's play. Reveal the world. Reveal the illusion. Lose the distractions, right? Right?
Absolutely.
I was just going to say, look at the word tract from tractions or tract of land. Lose your footing. Distract ions. You'll lose your footing if you get caught in the distract ions. Sorry about that.
That's okay. I looked up the word loculus, which meaning is either coffin, manger, or purse, or a little place, which I thought was quite interesting. And of course, it is a lock for us, lexigram.
Exactly.
And just every single frame of this film blew me away. As the chap comes out of prison, it starts raining, and then they pan in, and so he's coming out, and he's been there, it's raining, he's being cleansed, he's being distilled. As he comes out, on the side of the prison wall is the Gemini sign, of course.
Nice.
And this was kept being repeated all the way through it. His father lives on Sacred Island. And I don't know, when you drive into towns, quite often on the, those visitors' signs on the side of the road, you have an M with a roof on the top of it. And I always take that's a symbol of masonry, but I don't know that it is. I don't know whether it's actually supposed to mean museum, but I definitely think there's an undercurrent thing going on there. And then we had the whole situation, because it's this father and son, and there's this friction going on between them. So his father brings all in these people to try and find this loculus. And on the boat that comes into this island is this woman who is the feminine actor in this role. And as she comes into the shore, she steps over on the rocks and she picks up water with her hand. And I thought that was very significant. Here comes in Venus, the feminine. And of course, what is her name? Her name is Mira, Mira. So she is the mirror.
There's the phonics.
There's the phonics. Yeah, just loved it. And then of course Genesis, and then they were all talking about Genesis in the film, and palingenesis, which is regeneration, or the Ouroboros, which takes us back to the serpent eating its own tail and the we.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. And then there's another section, and it just kept going on about urine. Urine just kept cropping up in this film. They show a piece where there's a news flash, and they're talking about this underground group called the initial P2. And then straight away I thought, well, there you go. It is P, and 2, again, there's the sign for Gemini, the twins, the 2, the 11, the alchemy, yet again, of the marriage of the masculine and the feminine. And again, they're all searching for this box, Pan's door. The Pan is the god for wild shepherd. And I thought, and here we are at the moment with all the sheep shepherding him in. And also Pandora is a moon of Saturn, which I never knew that.
It's amazing the trails. Yeah, I just let people know that trails you can go on just with one clue. It'll blow your mind. Follow your nose. Follow your heart.
And then again, I looked up Pandora again, and it said Pandora was made from water and earth. Of course she was. Where else did we get? So we got mirror, and the reflection. And then you see her having a shower, and again, this cleansing, this water. And mirror also means, I looked up the name, the meaning is peace. And it's also a red star in the constellation of Cetus, which takes 331 days, of course.
That's, it's a coincidence, guys, so don't think that everything is, magical or anything here at all.
And then I thought it was quite strange because yesterday I told you about nearly piercing the other side of my chest, not my heart side, the other side, with bamboo. And then what happens, Magnus, the father in it, is speared to death in exactly that place. And I thought, oh, hello. And all the way through this film, in different sections of different eras of time, they were always killing people by spearing them in that exact place. And I thought, well, this is really fascinating. I wonder if I was once there. It's an old wound I'm remembering.
Yeah, of course, when you say spear, the first character in the Arthurian deck that comes to mind with me is Bedivere. And, of course, he is missing one hand. He lost a hand in battle. Ties in with me, the Red Hand of Ulster.
Red Hand of Ulster.
Right. Mm. So... And, of course, you heard me break down Ulster. U, the international symbol for electricity. L, the power of spirit. S, the divine feminine. Of course, stir. You've got STER, which is star, divine feminine, and also divine masculine. But more specifically with the ER, because it's the dark. See, star is 6 in the mirror. That's A. And stir is 9 in the mirror. E, uppercase E, or lowercase e, lowercase a. When you flip them around, they're 6 and 9, or yin and yang, or light and dark in the mirror, you see. So that's why they had to steal our dark, right? It's not a registar, it's a register, and that's a divine feminine. So there's the Ulster, right? It's the complete package in terms of the fourth chamber of the heart, or fourth province, right? I talked about that in one of the shows previously.
And it's a sign for Cancer as well, isn't it? Again, more water.
Mm-hmm. And what are we in right now? Oh, lo and behold.
Oh, yes, lo and behold. And you'll like this little bit, because when they come to attack this manor house, the father, to save the girl and his son, he takes their name tags off their bedroom doors and burns them. And I thought, how, amazing. This is sort of, in a sense, the burning and resurrecting of their true names. Made me feel that, it was totally cool.
Lose the name, and that's an all allegory. I mean, I've got to see this thing because it sounds absolutely giggly in allegory.
Yeah, and I so want to maybe you get bits that I didn't pick up and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's trying to, and that's it. So then they set fire to everything. So the chap's trying to get out of the room, and he then comes across this red box. It's not an emergency box though, but it's got a huge X on it. And I thought again, X marks the spot. And then he unlocks the door, there's fire, and he gets thrown across the room from this blaze, and he lands on this statue, and it's a ram's head, and I thought that was really interesting.
Oh, that goes far beyond interesting. Yeah, the whole thing about fire as well, right? When we're talking in terms of creation, fire is Gemini's spirit. The cardinal aspects are fire, and then you have the earth and water coming in. I'm sure there's a ton more of allegory showing that. But where was I going? Promethean fire. That is for me the awakening. This is the cleansing by fire, right? This is the trial by fire, if you will. And the challenge here is, can you awaken? It's just a game. It's just a movie, and every day that goes by, more and more of us are seeing more and more of the illusion the way it needs to be seen, and we're starting to laugh. And, good game, good show, good movie. Lots of thrills in this one.
Oh, it's so spectacular. And then he comes out to discover that his father has been skinned alive, and so his body's laying on the ground with nothing covering it, and his skin's been in slides like a big bit of leather and pinned to the wall. And I thought this was really amazing, because here we keep talking about standing in our naked truth, but they are trying to skin us alive.
Yeah, that's the whole money, right? The money thing. right? We've talked about that before. What is money? Money is actual skin and the literal soul, spirit, divine side, turned into pay per. Oh, another word you said earlier, purse. And this is an early word. That's why I haven't looked at that word in a while. So I looked at it again, and wow, what an interesting thing. When you take purse, the sound, and slice it into two, you have per se, right? So as in when people talk about going into court, pro se or per se, and there's per se us, right? For the himself, herself, itself, us. And then I also changed, well, I don't have any rules when it comes to spelling now. P-U-R-S-E is purse, right? P-E-R-S-E is purse. So let's have a look at the P-U version, U being electric energy again. You have the pure say, the pure himself, herself, itself. So once you start seeing through the things, this is a bit deep, guys, sorry, but when you start seeing through the layers, the miracles of every single word you utter is incredible. It's beyond incredible. But you got to trust yourself. That's the trick. That's the hard part. Oh, and we talked this morning too about the key rho symbol again, right? Because I've talked about the rho symbol being reversed in the letter P, and when you put that in the mirror, you can see the mirror reflection of itself, which would be the key rho. But you're also dealing with the key and the P, as it already is. So you've got a quad there. You've got the double cross and the rho and the P. So rho is spirit breath, and of course P phonically. Well, we talk about it all the time, right? This is the key of P, ter. Okay, P, T, love, ER, raw, light of God in the mirror, right? And I joked as well, another nickname for the male phallus is the Peter, right? So, of course, it's the keys of Peter because it's patriarchal. And lo and behold, what comes out of that but urine. So when you can look at the key rho symbol now, and it's right there in your face, and there it is, the waters of life. X marks the spot, which is key. That's the Greek letter X, or it looks like our X. In Greek, it's pronounced ki, and of course, when I see CHI, you go to the Chinese, and they refer to that as chi or life, right? So there's your P and the X, and that's how we're double crossed. So there's the ticket. Does that work for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's all there. Look how many layers you just peeled off that one little symbol.
And I mean, we haven't even it goes on and on. It's just it's completely mind-boggling. And in a way, I don't want to totally spoil it because I want other people to find what they find as well. You know what I mean? I don't want to share everything I found with it.
Actually, I would urge you to show everything. That way, people have already got things that they're into, and other things will pop up, because when you're looking to find something that has been mentioned, your eyes and ears are wide open, and you're going to observe a lot more. So again, I love to spoil the entertainment value of movies. While everyone's looking at the stars and the action, I'm looking at the hell, the set. Right? Set, Satan, Saturn. Yeah. So don't be distracted. Look around and see what's in the set. That's the other part I really focus on what's going on in the background and take a bird's eye view of, like I was saying about World War Z. I think I mentioned it today about it's got the representation of the left brain and the right brain with the bridge, the only road between them. That was allegorically laid out when Brad Pitt's character had to go into the left brain to get the answer without letting all the poison get back into the right brain. And that's, for me, allegorically, is getting silent, and your right brain's already made the choice it needs to make, and it's giving you the answer, and then you have to analyze it, go through it logically. That's the whole purpose. Like, I mean, people will, with me, with regards to the ego, I don't have an issue with the ego as a tool. It's when the ego makes the being the tool, right? Where they're trying to rationalize everything, trying to solve things in the physical realm. Sorry, guys, you can't do it. You can only use it to analyze. It's the observation tool. It's like trying to change the world, with the camera instead of actually going and doing it. Wrong analogy, but hopefully you get what I'm saying here. Ego is a very powerful thing to use, and it's equally powerful to use you. Don't be illusioned into thinking the ego is you. Anything with emotions and what reactions and being offended or whatever the case may be, that's ego. That is all program. It's designed that way because it's like the chip that Data got in Star Trek that gave him emotions. What you have to do is take the emotion chip out. You still have the emotions because you've experienced them, but you're not at mercy to them anymore. So by all means, share whatever you want. Destroy the entertainment value. Let's get into what it's really all about.
Well, then it continues. Then so he goes to the top of this sort of like castle place, and he finds Mira, who's up there, who's been meditating underneath the full moon. And she looks like she's in a trance, and he has to shake her, and he says, "Didn't you hear that? Didn't you hear what's been going on?" And she says, "No, I was meditating, I didn't hear." And I thought, there we go again. Here is a message of when we're meditating, the voices, the humdrum, the mess, the craziness stops. And of course she didn't hear all the rubbish because she was in her zone. So that was quite interesting. And then they managed to escape through an underground tunnel, and then they get into a car, which is A189 DCU. I didn't really look at those numbers and letters completely, but that was the number it was. And then they end up staying in a hotel debonair, which I thought was very interesting. It sort of conjured up. I don't know why I kept thinking date of birth on air. It kept saying to me, and I might lexigram that a bit later on. So they go there, then he goes off to see his mother to check that she's okay, and again, they've already got her there first. They've gassed her, they've strung her up upside down, and they've tortured her to try and find out where this loculus is. He gets there and she dies in his arms, so he then has now become an orphan. So he has no problem now with the mother and the father. He's now dead set on his forward path. And then they show you clips into the past of Isaac Newton and various other people who have had this loculus through the ages. And I'm pretty sure it was Isaac Newton, and he's doing an alchemy strange sort of gathering of things. And in this pot, he puts in some white stuff and some red stuff. And I instantly thought it was semen and blood, or menses and semen, which is the same word. And I thought, again, here we go again, masculine, feminine. And he's talking, saying, the eternal gold on the underground stream. And then the stars aren't aligned correctly, and so we've got to wait another 1,000 years until the stars are right again. So this eternal gold in this underground stream. And then I kept thinking, and again, we've been talking about this a lot, about how they've taken our urine, our eternal gold, and put it in their underground system, in their sewage. So I thought,
that's just coincidence. Keep going.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And have they had to steal it for 1,000 years to get the energy that they need to do whatever they're going to do with this loculus? So that was fascinating. So then they go on the trail of the search of this box, and they find, again, another sign, Alpha A Omega, and again with the P in the cross in the center, which then sends them, that was it. And then he sort of takes her prisoner. She doesn't want to have anything more to do with him. She keeps saying, I want to go. And he says, no, they're going to get you. You've got to come with me. And she says, I should be able to come with you willingly, yeah? Be your partner, not your prisoner. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. And then it shoots back to the past again, and there's this guy, that's it, when they're looking for this sign. He says, you don't look like the sort of people that come looking for this. You don't look the sort of type. And then they said, oh, no, we're just curious. And he said, well, curiosity strangled the cat. And the guy says, he's called Jake, he says, no. He said, curiosity killed the cat. And the man says, no, I think you need to relook at that. Curiosity strangled the cat.
And what was I talking about before? What the cat represents? Divine feminine.
Mm.
You know, raining
cats
cats and dogs. Yeah.
And my partner and my mother tried to strangle me, so that's quite interesting. Slightly. And then they hit a brick wall, literally. Yeah. And then that's it. They hit a brick wall, and then they managed. That's it. They managed to. I can't remember what they do, but they do something, and then they find this other little secret underneath. Where P is the cross that marks the spot. And then they discover that they need to go to this place where Revelations was written, and it's called Patmos in Turkey. And it was interesting because in the film they both say it together, Patmos. And I thought, well, that's really important. So I quickly wrote it down and had a little look at the other words that are in it. And of course, Patmos spells out map, stamp, amp, moat, soma, most, mast, asp, and some other things. But all of those incredibly relevant to where they're going to find this secret. Then that's it. And he's also a friend with a padre guy who's called Ray, this little ray of sunshine, who not only is a padre, but he's ex-military. So he's able to help them like with guns and all sorts of things. And then again, that's sort of that real flip of the coin. He's sort of like a preacher with a gun, which I thought was quite interesting.
Yeah, I also wanted to go back to Turkey for a sec. When you make the word yours, put an N in it, you have turnkey, which any turnkey operation means it's ready to go. So again, as you're talking, I'm listening and seeing the words, and keep going.
Yes, and also they've got urn in there, and in a sense, the loculus is an urn, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Right, so where do we get to?
This thing sounds, I was going to say, this thing sounds absolutely
I know, and I haven't
amazing.
even written everything down, honey bun, because it was just like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Well, yeah, you'll find yourself constantly, especially when you really start seeing this, you'll be constantly overwhelmed, and there'll be so much information coming in. There's no way you'll keep up. It's mind-boggling.
And then there was a yellow letterbox, and I want you to tell me what the significance would be of a yellow letterbox, as in when I'm thinking, the yellow brick road.
Yeah. Well, mailbox on the house is one of the most trapping things that someone can have, because what it's saying, well, look at the word, mail box. There you've got the masculine and feminine, right? And, of course, UPU is all about, it's the highest court in the world, Universal Postal Union, right? So there's a little bit more to it. They didn't call it the Planetary Postal Union. No, they called it the Universal. All right, so the yellow box, I'm sorry, I've got an echo going on here, but the yellow box that's on the wall is symbolic for me of as you said, the yellow brick road and the complete joinder to the system using the mailbox. A contract is deemed accepted when it's mailed. That's the problem. See, mailed, think of mailed as the verb it is from the masculine. It has been intended. It has been mailed, electrified. Neat, eh? Yeah, like I said, I've got. Oh, go ahead, hon.
Yeah. So then there's this really strange bit, and I kept thinking I couldn't really work out the significance of the line, and I should watch it again. She's standing up on a stone, and he's sitting on a step, and as she's standing there, the sun casts her shadow onto him, so it's sort of covering over him slightly, and I couldn't work it out. She sort of puts her arms up, and I can't work out if she's sort of, the shadow is making the ankh or the symbol of Venus, but there's more
the allegory,
to that.
The allegory is the divine feminine, when she holds her arms out, that's representation of the cross, and the masculine is. I immediately saw the divine feminine shadow cast upon the masculine, right? So the masculine only has a shadow of the divine feminine that we need to bring back to light. It's been crucified.
And also, I felt that they were trying to insinuate that she could be that she wasn't all that she seemed. That maybe she wasn't trustworthy as well. Was because they keep throwing that little bit in, you know. And Ray keeps saying, "Oh, I don't know if you can trust her. She's a woman. Blah 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 blah. Blah. You know, she's into alchemy. She's the devil. Yeah." Blah, blah. So that was quite good. And then,
go ahead.
No.
We could go back and forth like all night here. It's all good. You know, trusting of the divine feminine. That is, I don't know if I can trust her. What that's saying allegorically to me is that's Mrs. Doubtfire, where you're doubting yourself, your true creative essence. That's your divine feminine aspect that has been stolen, right? And this is what we're after. This is Pandora's box that we need to get back. So, yeah, I mean, if you watch a movie literally, it'll entertain you. But if you watch it allegorically, it will melt your mind. And yeah, that to me just says that we have lost the trust in our divine feminine because we haven't really had it in our vision for how long? Too long. Just my thoughts on it. So carry on.
Well, you can tell my mind is still pretty melted. I'm all over the shop. And I've drunk so much pee, I'm yabbering. I haven't got verbal diarrhea, I've got verbal urine.
Right on. It's true, though. I mean, just do it, guys. Pay attention and do it.
And so then they discover this whole thing with the sacred geometry, and he's got this super thing on the computer where he can put in various places, and then you'll see like pentagrams come up and all sorts of different shapes. And anyway, they find this pentagram, and it's got Venus at the top, Jupiter top left, Mars top right, Mercury bottom right, and I think it was Sol for the Sun on the bottom left because I couldn't quite see. But this is this makeup of this pentagram that was due to happen again, more or less at this time, in the film. So that's what they're hunting for. And then it was really interesting. They then go through this archway, this doorway. So it's like they're now going into a whole new realm. And then she talks about the pentagram, and she looks up and she said, yes, the fifth element, the heavens. And then they talk about the triangle. She mentions about the triangles being representative of the man and the woman, but also being representative of body and spirit. And then this is when I had my huge breakthrough, where I just suddenly, and then that's it. And they find the book, they get the box, and on it is this figurine of Aphrodite, which then made me think hermaphrodite, which then made me think of you, which is why I rang you, because I was completely over the top, because I suddenly worked out that apart from the D, you have hermaphrodite in your name, of course.
Go figure.
Completely blew my socks off. Not that I had socks on, but I was completely delighted about that. And I forgot to tell you, because I did it with Keith as well, with your other name. And have I got it written here somewhere? Because you're lacking the D if you use it with Kate Renee Thompson.
Right.
And you're lacking an E, an A, and an R if you do it with Keith, but you've got the D that way because you've got Wilfred, which I thought was fascinating.
Well, they're all mine, so you can write one hell of a book with that, couldn't you?
Yeah. And I even thought, well, because you've got the P, if you flip it upside down and in the mirror, you get a D.
Exactly.
So I'm taking liberties and using it.
But, well, that's it. There are no rules. You got the shape. They've been flipping around on us, so play back.
Yeah, and of course you've got Hermes and Aphrodite in your name as well, so of course. So I might have to even write you a new lexigram now that I've gone into more craziness.
Wow.
I know. Oh, that's it. So yeah, so they found that. So they've gone to this little temple, this amazing little place, and they find this box, and they're looking at this box. And there's nothing in it, and then they go back upstairs and they put it in where it should be, because it's been hidden down in this crypt. And they put it up where it should be, and then the sun shines on it, and it's got gold on it, and then it reflects on the floor. And so there's this rug there. So anyway, they pull this rug back, and there's this big circle, and again, there's a pentagram there, shaped on the floor. And it's really beautiful, and it's emblazoned with gold, so it's sort of shiny and showing up. Anyway, he dashes off to look outside or something, go and have a look at something, and she just takes off her robe. That's it, and they go through this blue door as well, that's it. Anyway, and she just takes off her robe, and she's standing there in her naked truth. I thought, this is so funny. And he returns around, and of course he's really drawn to her, so they get naked, and they start making love, and it becomes very sort of esoteric and out there, because she suddenly says to him, as I breathe out, you breathe in. As I breathe in, you breathe out. So they're starting to be quite tantric. And then they have this sex. And all the way through this, every time they go to sleep, they're both having these strange dreams about this loculus and the past, as if their bloodlines are tied to it, yeah? And there's masses of references, again, to Mary Magdalene. And then she realizes, when she's looking at the wall, she deciphers something that not only that, it's Magdalene, Mary, Miriam, Mira. And then she realizes that she's connected to this in a much more strong way. So again, there's the balance, the in and the out, the coming together, then making love and becoming one. When did we get to then? Oh God, I've got so many notes. Oh, that was it.
No doubt.
Yeah. And that's it. And of course, and then she's saying, this is what truly understanding is, or standing under your truth. Yeah, of course. Anyway, then the Ray guy turns up, and they think he's the enemy initially. He's come to help them because he's really worried. And then all three of them sit on this sign, on the pentagram, and try and work out what is the deal with this box. And so they start fiddling with it, and then at the top it has like 4 little skewers that are in the top piece of the lid. So anyway, they pull that out and the box falls apart, and as they pull that out, they realise that they've got some nails, yeah? And sorry, and I completely forgot.
Sounds
earlier
ominous.
On, it does sound ominous, yeah. And earlier on, the father had said, you know, you're going to need aluminum and UV and a UV light, yeah, which they've got. And he realizes why. So anyway, he sprays these 4 nails with this aluminum and uses UV. And of course, they come up absolutely beautiful purple. And they realize that these nails are the nails that were used to crucify Jesus, and they still have his DNA on them. And then they all realise that this loculus, this is all why these nasties are after it, is they're trying to use the DNA of Christ to bring the Antichrist, but having the same genes, yeah, so he will be believed by the people to be the Son of God. So that's all gets really thing. So anyway, and then they have this big fight about, you know, what we should do with this. My father wanted this box destroyed, and I think we should destroy it. And she's saying, oh, no, we can't do that because this could bring good to the world. And then Ray, the Padre, is saying, no, we must give this to the Vatican. We must give this to the Vatican. They're the only people to trust. And I'm thinking, oh, my God. Don't do that. So they go through this big turmoil of what they should and shouldn't do. And then suddenly Ray picks up the box and he runs out of the crypt and he wedges them in. He pulls down a bit of scaffolding and he wedges the masculine and feminine. He enslaves them in this crypt and runs off with this box to take it to his very good friend at the Vatican because it needs to be saved. So they're left in there and they're screaming, let us out. And he says, oh, don't worry, here's some food and some drink. I'll let you out when I come back. But this must go to safety. We must do the right thing here. So he goes off, and as he leaves the island, he puts a message in another yellow mailbox, obviously saying that these two people are in this crypt. And then he gets on the boat and he goes off to the Vatican. And all the way through this, the guys that had killed his father, these Nazis, are led by this strange guy. And you keep seeing him through the centuries walking. He's obviously immortal. Obviously drinks his pee. He's not a very nice pee drinker, but he is a pee drinker. And every time you see his footsteps, he's got different attire on. You know, first he's got sandals on, and then he's got sort of centurion boots on, and then he's got like 20 boots as you go through. And he's got this incredible walk, so you know it's him each time. It's quite creepy. And so no sooner does Ray take the box to the Vatican and it's put into the safety, you know, in some locked up place and under lock and key, and he goes off and he talks to his nice deacon or whatever he is that he likes. They, of course, the Nazi guy comes in and takes the box and has this precious thing and takes it off to some, and then they kill Ray and they kill the priest guy, and they go off and they take it to some horrible lab where they are creating a child. And then it becomes like really sci-fi because they've created like this huge egg in a plastic box. So there's no mother, there's no actual real thing. They've literally created it in a test tube using this DNA. And then he says, so any child can be destroyed through coercion, fear, and I couldn't remember, and another word he used. And I thought, yeah, you see, this is what they've been using, this coercion, this fear, and threat throughout our lives to keep us under control, yeah. So that was really fascinating, that bit. I've lost my other bits of notes. I'm babbling now, I feel.
No,
but,
no,
yeah.
not at all.
Okay, so it's making
you're
sense.
talking, there's stuff getting elevated.
Good.
Do your thing.
So anyway, so there's that's all in the chamber, and while that's going on, of course, we then go back to the couple who are trapped in the crypt, and then some local dignitaries find this note from Ray the next day in the mail saying these two people are trapped, don't tell the authorities, but go and rescue them. So anyway, and in the meantime, the Nazis have tortured Ray and tortured the other guy, and they went back to Ray's hotel room and found a ticket to Pantos. So they know where these guys are. So they go to this crypt and they're out to kill them. And whilst they were in there, they climb up this sort of like catacomb and go into the top. And there's these really strange things that they set up centuries before of sand, where if they were being invaded, they could swallow up the crypt in sand, yeah, have all these tunnels pouring through the sand to cover it up and save save the loculus that would be in the bottom. So anyway, he and she get up there and he says, right, what we've got to do, this is the only way we're going to have to knock the sand. And she said, oh no, we'll all be killed. And he said, no, it'll be okay. So he knocks the sand out and it starts, it's like quicksand, eating up everybody who's trying to get them downstairs. And they're trying to climb, and he manages to push her, and he pushes her, and she just gets up in the skylight, and then it's quite sad. You see him slowly disappearing underneath his stand, and only his hand is stuck out, and he just keeps saying, get free, just get free, get out of here, and then he's gone, and he's dead. And she's screaming out this top of this little tunnel, saying, help, 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 and these other people that Ray has sent a letter to come and save her. Anyway, and then she's taken off to a nunnery, and of course, she's in this nunnery, and the nun comes along and says, come on, you must eat, you must really, really eat. And she says, oh, I can't. And the nun says, don't feel so guilty, that you lived and he didn't, because you are not only feeding yourself, you have to think of the little one. And of course, she's pregnant. So this is sometime later, and she's still feeling terribly guilty, and she's pregnant. And then it all gets a bit weird because the alignment comes up, and then it sort of cuts it. So we're now waiting in anticipation for this terrible Antichrist to be born, and who's going to be offered up to the Vatican as the new Christ. And then you see it sort of moves ahead of time, and they show a depiction saying, this baby, a lost paper was said that some baby would be found on the steps of the Vatican, which would be the Messiah come to save us. And so you then see this horrible guy who's been killing everyone all the way through. He's suddenly one of these popes all dressed up, and it says, and this is the Pope that's come forward, and he's known as the modest Pope who's going to look after this baby, and that will be his job. And then you see his eyes, and you think, oh, God, poor child. And then you see her, and she goes up, and I'm not sure where it is, whether if she goes back to Pathos, but she's standing up on the sky, and all these stars are aligning, and she's got her little baby. And she said, this is why you came here, because you were supposed to be here at this precise moment. And then basically it's the end. And you're like, no, I want more. But it's left us, and again, it's strange, isn't it? And there's no reference whether her baby is male or female. And I felt that obviously her baby is going to be Abel, and the other baby is Cain. So again, in a sense, it's like a twin. One has come in the physical, and one has come in the spiritual.
It all boils down to electromagnetic, electric, interweaving of the energy of the masculine. I love the symbolic. I got to see this. This is,
Darling, you're breaking up a bit. I can't hear you very well.
Okay, the outers, it seems like it's riddled with it boils down to, I don't know if you caught this or not, but everything in this universe boils down to the common denominator of masculine, feminine, masculine, which is the electromagnetic metric universe. And what's interweaving that is the ebb when you're talking about the plane. You breathe in, breathe out, and vice versa. And that is the allegory of the universe. It is ebb and flow. And right now, what we're experiencing is the breath in. We started the breathing out. Now the divine feminine is breathing in, and bringing creation home, back to the ovum. Right. So it's everything is a circle. It's fractal. What are the names of those dolls that large doll, smaller one side, then a small one side, and a small one inside? What do they call those? That's I see the universe. Infinite. It's just getting infinitely larger and smaller. Everything is relative in terms of, and the only way we can actually determine large, small, is the fact we live in a physical universe where we look at things that are would be small, and a television would be large to it, right? A TV would be small. So it depends on the perspective where you're looking at. So everything is complete clarity. What we're with here is the war of duality coming into focus. And the biggest allegory that I'm sent to the movie is the fact that everyone has the Christ and the Antichrist within. You choose, right? Yeah. Which part you're going to be. We have a couple of callers here. You want me to bring them in? We got Bindi. Yeah. We got Bindi and area code 61. So I'll open up both mics. Area code 67, your mic's open.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Hi, this is Brandon. I called in last night.
Yeah.
Calling back again, Kate.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to listen to a British woman tell a story. I could listen to hours. I don't know if that was a movie or
a movie.
Okay. Anyway, it was fantastic.
Oh, but our own personal mirror and our own personal mirror is always. So I'm going to bring Bindi coming in here. I'm just going to bring everyone aboard here, Brandon, so give me a sec. We got Bindi, and I've got area codes. Hey, there you are, Bindi.
Hi.
Excuse me, sorry. Okay, and we got area code 604. Okay, so everybody's in. All right, so jump in, guys. Questions, comments? Let's open this table up.
Yeah, I was listening with awe to Miranda. It doesn't sound like the coziest Sunday afternoon movie, but I just downloaded it to check it out. It also reminded me a lot of the Hellraiser movies. Well, one of them is called Revelations, brought out in the same year. so it's funny. Look away. So I'll be cross-referencing them too. It's all both about a box.
Look away.
Yeah.
I love it.
I could never stomach those Hellraiser movies, but I'll try again. Who knows?
And another little funny thing I didn't tell you is it's made by Romulus Films. Boom, boom.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. I just got a statue from someone of the Lupa with Romulus and Remus.
Yes.
That came today. Funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and just to let people know, to clear up a whole lot of misconception in history, Romulus and Remus were boy and girl. Castor and Pollux were boy and girl. Cain and Abel were boy and girl. And every one of these stories has been portrayed and betrayed. See, portrayed, betrayed, as twin boys. And it's here. I got to say it. Here's a pun. It's an absolute fallacy. Okay.
Yeah, I've got a cartoon of the Lupa with Romulus and Remus, and one of the babies is sucking the wolf's teeth like no tomorrow, and the other one turns around and spits it out. I thought, right, that's fake. Hilarious as well.
That's beautiful. Again, I mean, look how long through history. I mean, until we actually got to the point where I'll never forget that moment when it hit me that Abel was female. Because I've been indoctrinated my whole life. Everyone has. If you went to Sunday school, right?
Abel, not Abel. Abel. It's the female word.
Yeah. And then lexigramming Abel, well, you've got Labe, right? Baal. So there's a couple of interesting, well, the word lab from labia, right?
Yeah.
The entry to the ovum, the womb, and
maple.
Yep.
And
Gravity Falls, Mabel. And who was her twin brother? That's why anything that has twins in it, in terms of series or whatever, immediately draws my attention because I know exactly what the allegory is going to be looking at. And here's the thing, and I can't say this strongly enough, get your trust back, because everything around you, everything completely that you do, say, in every instant of the now is perfect. You're missing it. That's all. We're just missing the show. It is perfect. Right? No distractions. To see why. I'll give you an example here at Mary's. 2 pictures on the wall. Okay? This is how I follow my own trails. I'll give you another sound definition of a word that didn't actually click with me until I looked at the picture. One of them is a picture of the Eiffel Tower. Kind of beautiful angle looking from the base up to the top, so it's perfect in the sense of the phallus tower, right? Or tower. Depends on how you look at it, of course. Pisces, you have toes on your feet. So you got the toe and ER, Ra, or light of God in the mirror, reversed. And the other picture is called Afternoon in Venice, right? Beautiful picturesque scene, and of course there's the art. There's an arch in it, and there's the boat. All the symbologies that people would just paint or whatever. They're not thinking of it, but the creation's perfect. They don't have to. The creation will manifest itself. You have Afternoon in Venice, and for anyone that's listened for any length of time, that's where we, that for me was the last stop, and I've already visited it, and I'm heading back that way. I think I'm going to go back there through via Switzerland, Luxembourg, and then back to Venice. Okay, but let's change the rules up. Let's change the rules up for the sounds of Venice. Afternoon in Venus. Right now, I look. Yeah, then I took a slice and dice of Afternoon in Venus. Right, so here it is. Because you can take the word Venus just to show you how I mess with words. It can be Venice, Venice, Venice. Venus, Venice, you know what I'm saying? So don't lose. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's the same Dionysus, or also the Phoenicians.
Well, yeah, it goes. That's where I'm going. Phoenician, Venetian, comes back to all of that. Now, afternoon, I see you got aft, which is behind. Again, there's raw in the mirror, and then it has noon, or you can no on, right? No one. So there's a lot of things that you can play around with, and then of course you got Miranda in the mix, and afternoon in Venice. I'd love to see what kind of lexicograms you can get out of that. So there you go. But
I'm seeing a bit of the Muppets Beaker's head exploding if you go to Venice. That's
pretty much.
Yeah.
No,
boom.
Yeah. That's my favorite ego trip.
Yeah, back to Venice. It's on the water, and water is the divine feminine as well. So.
Well, yeah, and it's the only city in the world that is on the water, so it's not technically on the land. That's why they had to put all the birth bonds there.
Oh, the whole country here is half water, so we know how that works.
Well, again, we are referenced allegorically as being lost at sea.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Netherlands, half water, half land, one from water, so we're floating on it. Actually a swamp.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Zuiderzee, right?
Yeah.
You know,
as well. Venice and the Netherlands has a lot of in combination. A lot of how do you call it? Same problems with the water.
Yeah, correlations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the one in LA.
No.
Yeah. What's that, Brandon?
Different. Oh, I was just going to say the Venice in California is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it does have canals.
Exactly. Venice Beach. Gotta love it. So I just cracked open a fortune cookie, so here we go. Now is a good time to finish up old business. That's what we're doing.
Hold on.
Well, I'm just telling you what's happening right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I literally just cracked it open. Go ahead, guys.
Oh, hi, it's Patty from Vancouver.
Hey, Patty.
I'm hungover today, so I'm not primed up. I didn't even have my pee this morning. I was so... I had so much fun last night. Oh, my God.
That makes two of us, and didn't drink that much, but that's the thing is I don't drink at all usually. So it's I know your pain somewhat, Patty. I didn't get wrecked though, so it's all good.
Oh, I needed to get wrecked. I really, really needed it. So did my girlfriend. Her husband is missing. Now this is my friend from Winnipeg. I've known her forever. Like, we went to Europe for a year together, and her husband has been deemed missing and drowned, and it's a very, very suspicious... I said to her last night, I said, you know, Daniela, you just think about whether you believe what the RCMP are telling you or not, because I smell a rat. I really do. So they're going to get people to come into Harrison Lake on Friday from the States. She's paying for them to come up, and they do this sonar kind of... his name's Ray, go figure, right? Raymond Salmen, S-A-L-M-E-N. I mean, just the name itself, I'm going, oh, my God.
Well, who was one of the characters in the movie we just talked about?
Raymond. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. So, anyway, you know, Miranda, what you're talking about in this is just mind-boggling, and this whole thing about P. Now, because my name starts with P, it's kind of, special to me, and I'm thinking, okay, what is it? How did they mess with us? With our P, and how they did it was exactly what you're talking about. They took the letter P, right, and they reversed it. And how did they do that? Well, as above, so below, like you do, Katie, when you're looking up things in Black's Law Dictionary. You look before and you look after, right? So what they did is they took the O, which is our dot, okay? So now they've got our dot, and what they did is they added their stick, and they made the P. Well, when they added the stick, because it's all magic, right? It's just magic. So they took this is how they were able to reverse. They reversed our P, and they reversed our P.
Mm-hmm. Double crossed. That's
and
the
so
key.
Now you have,
yeah.
Exactly.
So you have the P, now you have the Q. So they took our O, and they put the stick on the right bottom, the bottom right corner of our dot. Okay, so so what they did is you take the P. The P, okay, this is crazy. as we know. Now they have the P going in all 4 directions. You see how they did this with the 4 sticks? They put the P backwards. That created their magic, which is the false P, which you always talk about. Now they've got the real P, which is flip side of that in the mirror, and then when you turn it upside down, you've got a B and a D. So they have totally gotten all 4 corners, all 4 dots.
Yeah, the quad.
Yeah, and what do they have after our P, our reverse P? The X, right? X marks the spot. Well, those are the sticks. They're just showing you right there. They took the sticks and not only that.
I love you, Patricia. I so love you.
Maybe I was supposed to get drunk last night. I'm totally brain dead.
And what's interesting, do you remember me telling you when I first met Andrew, I was so bowled over and I kept saying, Andrew, is there a symbol for drinking your wee? What's the symbol for drinking your wee? And it is a circle with a square around it.
There you are. There you are.
And again, if you then turn them the other way, if you put the circle and then put the cross through it.
That's what Da Vinci was trying to tell with, you know, that man in the circle in the square?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Drink your beer.
And another thing with the lettering, and I found this amazing, I did a course with Darren Diogi last summer, and we were talking about how we write. And if you have got lines on a page, you know, like the P, the tail goes underneath the line. You do the head on the top and you do the line underneath, don't you? And with a D, you do the D and then the line goes up. Well, all of our writing is incorrect because the P, the circle should start really high up and the P, the line, should be on the bottom of the line. Do you see what I mean? So it's in the air. And the same with all the other letters that do that. So that's J that goes down, it should sit up in the air. And it's about the descending and ascending and how they've taken, like the vibration of these letters and they've pulled them down and brought them into the deep hand of everything. It's fascinating. And that's to do with where your balls are as well. It's all to do with like the ascent, the 3 higher chakras and 3 lower chakras. And whether we're in spirit or material, it's fascinating. There's loads on that I love.
Well, the spirit thing. Look at the letter P again. It makes a 9. What 9 represent? Our consciousness. And this is what they did. They took our feminine essence. Isn't this what you think? Like, they even put the number 9 in there, and that's how they stole our essence. They put it right in the P, or they took it out of the P, or whatever, however you want to say it. But it's fascinating, isn't it? And then also, what they did, you see, with the X, the reason they made the X is because it's like the ley lines. Any line that has a cross point is look at the vial vortexes. There are 10 of them. These are very powerful grid lines on our Earth's, grid. So by putting the X in, that's where they got the power from. That's where they stole the power to do all of this magic, is by crossing the X instead of putting them side by side.
No. What about the word urea, as in urine? It's in Uranus, it's in Europa, it's in everything.
Yeah.
Wow. And
one other thing that people missed on urea, I like to keep bringing it up. That's Rhea is the wife of Zeus.
Yes.
RHEA, and of course, what do we have in our blood? RHA positive, A negative, and of course, what is EA? Yin Yang. So that's what we're dealing with. That's why that was the biggest clue for me to confirm the work that blood is actually pure ether.
That's why blood is thicker than water. But in the mirror, so it's not.
Yeah, so there you go. And of course, Rhea, RHEA, also gets lexicogrammed into Hera, which is the other way of spelling Zeus's wife. And here's another neat little thing about Hera, because you've got the 12 labors of Heracles, or the keys of the divine feminine, right? And these are the labors we go through. So, we do our homework.
Hera's eyes would look like the circle on the feathers of a peacock.
Yeah.
Peacock is the male has the colors, but the female is the one with the most strength. that can kill a cat. So the feminine again, yeah.
Yeah, let loose the nasty fluffy.
Yeah. And not only the whole idea of the divine feminine being passive, being still, is bollocks. It used to be the other way around. They've turned that around too. It was the divine masculine that is magnetic and still, and the feminine is active and electric. So which one are we?
Well, that's the quad nature, right?
They cancel each other out if you've got them both in balance.
That's why I was saying about the quad. In the feminine, you have positive, negative, which is both masculine, feminine again, and in the masculine, you have positive, negative, masculine, feminine, and the fact that creation exists at all, based on the canceling out, this is one of the reasons why they have to be kept out of balance slightly to have creation at all.
Yeah, you can't get up the stairs without getting out of balance. You'd never land on the next sport.
Exactly.
You'd stand still on the same one your whole life if you don't want to come out of balance.
Yeah, and you got to climb those no ledges too, right?
Yeah.
Well, Katie, I'm going to just push this one through because the stupid phone, I don't want to take a chance, and I'm going to hang up and then I'll just listen. But
well, push it through, hon. Let rip.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to put, because I'm really feeling like crap today too. Oh, see, even my Madison. Okay, this is Madison the dog.
Madison. Yeah, mine went mad earlier on.
Oh, I'm laying out here naked, and the little girl just came home.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Anyway,
yeah.
I'm just going to put my back on. Anyway, so what happened is a couple of days ago.
Hey, Chloe.
See, I even said hi to put attention to myself instead of hiding. I'm just testing the universe. See, but she's going to be more embarrassed than me.
No, she won't. She won't be at all embarrassed. Children are completely different about it. Yeah. It's us that put that shit on it. She'll be fine.
Yep. Well, she, I know her, and she's not fine. I can assure you, but it's okay. So what happened was, remember that the only reason I'm bringing this up is because it's going to help people. Because I'm kind of walking this out literally, and then I'm just going to tell you how I did it. So that day when I went naked right to the house, well, the next day I knew I had to do it again. And I'm like, are you give me a break? Like, I'm, okay, good. I get pissed off at first, and I go, no, I'm doing this. I don't want this monkey on my back. I want to get rid of all this crap. If it's fear, I'm getting rid of it. I'm going to boot it in the ass. So I go, okay. The painter was upstairs. Now I have to go again. I have to go from my basement suite up through the kitchen past the painter. I was just talking to him in the kitchen like 10 minutes before I was going to head up, and I thought, okay, I'm going to just do this. I don't care. You know what? I'm going to do it. So this time I went up totally naked. I didn't even have anything on. I had my little backpack, all my stuff in there, and I opened my door to my to leave, and I could hear him upstairs like 10 minutes ago. I could hear him painting and banging and stuff, and then I thought, I don't care. So I walk up. He's not there. He's gone. He left. Right? Like he was not there. So
it's hilarious. If you are really trying to be caught with your knickers down, whereas everyone is always trying not to be caught with their knickers down, I think it's hilarious.
You think of what you wanted. The universe disappeared. So did the phone.
Isn't that hilarious? So I go in. I go in the bath. I do my routine, and what I do healing in the bathtub. I put really a lot of the Epsom salts and baking soda, and I listen to some DNA repair stuff on my computer, and I kind of lay in the tub, and it really just, I guess it's the water and everything else, it just really it really gets to the point. So my computer just froze at this particular point halfway through this thing. So I'm going, okay, well, I guess I'm supposed to move now. So I rinse off, and I'm packing all my stuff. Oh, no, before that, what I did is I have two kinds of medicinal marijuana, okay? I've got MK Ultra because of the mind control stuff, and another powerful one that I've got, which is not as powerful, so I kind of go back and forth. Well, I didn't take my MK Ultra up, which I usually do, so the universe was showing me I've got to now go through the kitchen again and go and get my MK Ultra. This always happens. I know I've forgotten something on purpose, so I go down naked, David, the painter, is not there. I go right through the house. Now, Chloe, this little girl here, she's right next door to the bathroom. I know she's in there because I heard her. She had the TV on, and I'm thinking, okay, she ain't going to come out. And if she does, I don't even care. Like, I just don't. I just want to get this over with, right? And so I go down, get my MK Ultra. I come back up, and I just happened to look outside at the front door because I had phoned Maureen to ask her if it was okay for me to use the tub, and she was out. But she was supposed to be back, like, half an hour ago, and I'm thinking, well, where is she, right? And I'm thinking, oh, yeah, she'll come in. I know she will, right? I just happened to look out the front, and I saw the nose of a white car, and she drives the white car, and she often will park out in front, and I thought, oh, man, I just made it, eh? Like, I bet you she's just coming in. So I go into the bathroom, and I'm ready to go again, and I forgot something else. There was something else I had to get, and I thought, okay, Maureen's probably in the kitchen. I have to go through there. Just suck it up and do it. So I go, okay. I go out the door, and I go through the kitchen. There's nobody there. I go into my room. I come up with whatever I needed. I'm okay, she's got to be home now. I've given her enough time to get in. There's nobody there. Nobody. And I'm thinking, this is just absolutely crazy. See, fear, when you fear stuff, it usually doesn't happen. So anyway, I go for my tab, and the computer freezes. I'm getting ready to come out, and I now I can hear Maureen in the kitchen talking on the phone, and I'm going, okay. All right, what the hell, right? And so I go, okay, well, whatever, and I'm really not too excited because I know she's in there, and so I just go, okay. I had my backpack, I've got all my stuff, and I'm walking through the kitchen. Now, the wall's on my right, the opening is on my right. I'm just about to the opening. I can hear her on the phone. I know exactly where she's standing in the kitchen, and I just walked through. Well, guess what? Her back was turned to me. She was looking out the window, having a conversation. She didn't see me. She didn't hear me. I walked right by her, and her back was turned. She never saw me.
Yeah, so. I know that effect. Actually, it's a beautiful effect. I think we should start calling that the Celestine effect.
Yeah. Oh. Yep. Exactly.
It's that is the power of directing your movie. And the minute you step out of the fear, you're fine.
Inside and shimmer out of sight. Yeah.
Yep.
Today, like, I came back from my little binge last night, and I'm laying out in the sun just trying to regroup, and I thought, I had my shorts and a little top on, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to push the envelope here because, you know what? If I'm supposed to be seen naked, it's under my direction now, okay? Like, I'm gonna direct it, just like you said, and I just took all my clothes off. It's their yard, right? Well, Chloe's supposed to be at camp, and nobody was supposed to be here, but I didn't care. You see, that's the thing. I was wanting somebody. In fact, I kept looking at the back lane here because there's this little lattice work you can see. If people walk by, they can see me lying here, right? Well, of course, I'm on the phone talking to you. What are the chances? And Chloe comes home, and I don't care. Like, I'm still sitting here naked. She's walked by me twice now. I don't care.
Yeah, just lose it. Lose the fear.
But, you have to go through all those steps that I did in order to get to this point right now where you can sit here and not fear. Because, I guess people could do it on their own, but that's not how I was led to do it. I just went step by step, so that's...
Yeah, you've baby stepped it. I mean, that's effectively the walk I've taken this life. And like today, Mary and I took a walk down along the boardwalk by the lake, and just like thousands of people, right? It's a hot day, everyone's at the beach, at the lake, whatever. And I was the observer of the movie instead of feeling like I was being the observed, So it's a different mindset. I had a gentleman come up behind us and said, "Hey girls, you guys have have a cigarette I could buy?" And of course I have my tin of native naturals, right? And so I said, "Don't worry about the money. I don't want any money." And I gave him 5 or 6 smokes. Because I have them, it's like, it doesn't matter. But it was just the energy and the interaction was just so absolutely natural when you just, and here's the thing, had I still been trapped in that fear, I would never have been able to give that gift, right? So everything is perfect. The baby steps. You don't have to take leaps and bounds. I mean, many of us did in order to show the way to taking baby steps. But you have to take them. You can't sit this one out. What you were saying about the stairs, Bindi, yeah, you can stand on that stair all day long and you will never move until you go out of balance to go either up or down. So there's your Humpty Dumpty. That was the brick wall you referred to in the movie, Miranda. They hit a brick wall. You've heard it. That's one of the allegories I use in songs, fairly regular. But even in the song Rescue, you find a wall and push on through. And that's, for me, the Humpty that has fallen off is trying to find its way back through the wall to find its way home. You got to push through. You can't. Well, you can. I mean, here's the thing. You can choose to not step and stay on the same rung of Jacob's ladder for eternity, but the universe is in full motion. You will not be there long. Static is an illusion. Yeah. Everything. Love is motion. This universe is love. It's in constant motion. So you'll either move yourself or the universe will move you for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a bit shell-shocked, but it lives.
Mm-hmm. They do. They get over it. Go ahead, Patty.
No, I was just going to say, I know, Katie, that you're similar to the way that I do things, and in terms of what we're asked to do, and like yourself, I kind of take the bull by the horns, as it were, and just bite the bullet and suck it up and do it. And it's not baby steps for me. This is the first time I've really taken baby steps. Plane just flying over here, and so I know that you do as well. That you were one, and we see that all the time. Where you're the one that always goes for it, in a big way.
I push the envelope, and it scares the shit out of me, but I push it anyway because I know I have to. If I don't push it, some universe will push it for me, and I'm going to do it on my terms. Excuse me.
Well, the plane just tells you what you're doing. You're soaring.
Yeah. You've reached a new plane, a new plateau.
Oh my God, that's right. Plane. Oh,
show and tell, baby. Show and tell. Sight and sound. That's why.
And you've really taken off.
Oh my God, that's true. And
all aboard.
Pink is the color that the universe uses for affirmations for me. And as soon as you said that, I just looked down on the floor, and I've got my 2 pink sandals and my pink shorts that I took off to be naked. Now, give me a break, right? That was sort of like a total affirmation. But I'm going to hang up, and I'm going to listen. And if I'm going to go recharge my phone. If I need to come in, I'll call you. Okay, guys? I'm just...
great to have you, hon.
Sure. Great to hear from you, Patty.
Yeah, loads of love, Pat.
You too.
Awesome.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Stricker.
Yeah.
More like Striker.
Yeah, that too.
And just let people know, I'm going to roll off at 9 p.m. here. That'll be 2 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, because we didn't get a chance to get out last night. Just ended up trying out a whole bunch of new things. It was beautiful. It was awesome. It was a girls' night in, so tonight we're going to have a girls' night out. So it's lots of neat stuff. So I'm going to roll off at right at the top of the hour. Just let people know. Fair?
Yeah, absolutely fair.
Yeah. So, wow. Based on the conversation we had this morning, Miranda, I had a funny feeling that we'd get right into a nice little allegorical alley fest tonight, and that's exactly what we have to do. We have to stop looking at things so literally, because you're caught in the action of the movie. You're not paying any attention to the set that's being created and the scenes that you're creating around you. Don't get lost in the dramas, and see them for what they are. They're dramas, and there's an allegory in it. If you're looking at it literally, well then go hang out with the Walmart and Tesco people. They like having things literal. It's like when I was walking today, just sitting, observing, and it was countless people, aspects of me looking at that were in absolute slumber. You saw the little division parties of one family group here, one family group there. Yeah, they were collectively all over the place, but you still had your lines of demarcation, your borders that we place around ourselves based on the divide and conquer of the family unit, which is the most divisive unit on this planet. It has taken us away from the rest of humanity by thinking that somehow your children are more important than mine or someone else's. And that's the illusion. The fact is, we're all one, and every point of consciousness in human form, I like to refer to them as the neurons of Gaia. Every one of our neurons matters. And when we, follow the literal game that they like to have us playing, we end up losing a lot of those neurons, only have to recharge them again, So just be mindful of that. Don't get lost in the dramas. Start looking at them for what they are. And I'm talking, family dramas, friends, work situations. These are all part of the game. They're part of your movie. But don't get caught in the movie. Be the director and start redirecting your scenes the way you want them to go. If you want the rerun of the same argument with the same person, then keep doing it. If you want the same drama, ad nauseum at work, then keep doing the same things because you're missing the message that you're trying to show yourself. Start observing what's really going on and start looking for the things that resonate with you. And they're everywhere. They are literally everywhere. You just have to shut up, listen and look, and be amazed. Once you start seeing this, and I know there are a few people that are, it is beyond magical. And it really starts to take the mystery out of how this game works and why we get so uptight. The only logical thing for me, and here's the question I asked myself, well, if I was God, and I am, what would I do to have a game?
That takes it, yeah.
And this is what I would do. I would create something, because I'm all-knowing. I would create something to dumb me down, part of me and parts of me, in order to interact at different levels, Therefore, I can feel bliss, I can feel frustration, I can feel anger, love, excitement, and all the rest of it. And what's happened here is, we got caught. Well, I can't even say we got caught in our own game, because this is the game, right? It's that feeling of being caught in the game. We're not. We're infinite, right? There's no boundaries. There's no limitations. So play. If you were God, what would you do? And start looking at it that way, and you'll start seeing the world a whole lot differently, the whole universe. The only thing existing in your universe right now is where you're at, what you're looking at. Everything else is completely non-existent. So why does that movie scene matter to you? And that's what the game is all about. Can we throw things into the media to get everyone looking at, a scene in the movie that may or may not exist? And will they buy it? How many storms have we created against ourselves by them flashing up a picture of a hurricane in the Atlantic that you can't see? It's coming from one of their satellites, if it indeed exists, and because they put a picture of it, and yeah, you can do that easily. I mean, do you think we have the technology? Just a lot. To get people looking at it, and Hurricane Sandy for me was that was a pre-plan. They had it listed in 1999, and that for me is a prime example of what I just said, because there was a few of us that said, no, I'm not buying it. So all I see is calm. And I got this beautiful visual of an island, palm trees, and all the rest of it, calm water, sitting out on the beach, in place of this whole Sandy thing. And there was a few of us were doing the same thing, and that storm didn't have a tenth of the impact they thought it would have. That's all it takes is, for a few of us to disagree with the illusions, and the illusions fall away. And this is what's happening now. Is the numbers, you guys, me, and all of us that are part of this, we're gathering these numbers that is absolutely and literally changing this game. You're powerful. I just need you to know that. You are the Christ. We all are. And you can do greater things than I, so he said. Interesting. I just took the guy at his word. I said, okay, Jesus, I'm in. I'll play. I'll take you at your lessons, just like the rest of the teachers taught the same things. So it's got nothing to do with religion. And that's the thing too that love to do is to get you to love something, to find out it's absolute bullshit, so you hate it, so you run away from one of the most important books in your culture. Let's say you're Muslim, you run from the Quran, or Christian, you run from the Bible, etc., etc. And these are the very code books that unfold the entire game for you once you learn how to read them. such an incredible depth I can't even begin to formulate into words. But there you go. So jump in, guys. Questions, comments? Keep going. This is good.
Well, I think we should call it All the Gory Details.
I love it. All the gory details. I love it. Well, you've got all ego or gory, right?
Well, what about Al Gore? He gets the Oscar for the most gory detail.
Exactly.
Oh, he's an arse. Jesus.
Well, hang on. Look, okay, stop. You went literal. Look at his name. Al Gore.
Yeah.
Put him in the mirror and he's telling the truth.
Exactly. His name is the clue. Look at now we're seeing the magic. That's a character in the movie called Al Gore.
Mm-hmm.
Al Gore, right? Okay, so what does anybody know his middle initial?
Let's see if I can find.
Somebody look it up, please.
Yeah.
I'd love to see his whole name. Do you see what I'm saying, though? Who else? Well, look at the presidents. Bush, right? What do they talk about in the Bible? The burning bush.
Albert Arnold.
What is it?
Arnold Gore. Albert Arnold Gore.
Hey.
Yeah, Al Gore. E.
Yeah.
Just a coincidence. Everybody look away. It wasn't Benjamin or Peter that his middle name was.
Right.
It was Arnold, right? It's the letter A. Al Gore. Is that like freaky enough for you? That works for me. That shit.
He carries around blood.
Oh, and guess when his birthday is? 31st of March, the eve before April Fool's Day.
Yeah, I do know.
We're playing a joke on ourselves. People, lighten the fuck up.
Yeah.
Start having fun. Don't get wrapped up in all the dramas,
Oh, hilarious.
Just all do a big Smurf story that way.
Well, think about it. Here's one side of us playing a joke on the other side of us to see if we'll fall for it. And this is going to be an infinite game. It's beautiful. Right? We're not falling for it anymore. It's okay, I got me this time. Right? The duality, right? You're dealing with, look at the playful nature between the male and female, right? It's basically a game of who's fucking who this time.
Yeah. It's always a good idea when you're looking at the allegories and putting shit in the mirror to stay away from the edges, because that's where the destruction and creation edges are. If you stay slightly away from the edges, you can observe. If you sit in them, you become one of the two of the polars.
Exactly. You kind of got to get them both together to see the whole picture. You know. But seriously, it is. For me, it's one big practical joke, and it's like, okay, now imagine this is all a joke now, and then you have to look back over your life and all the things and how you reacted to them. Are you going to laugh at yourself or what? Damn straight you are. Oh, I'm an infinite God, and I did that. I don't believe that shit. Oh, my God. I doubted that. Holy shit. Ha, ha, ha. That's what bliss is. It's laughter.
Well, just imagine if you didn't forget you created it. You wouldn't have the laugh. So even that is humor.
Exactly. We create the game for ourselves. Well, it's like in the song. Just came back to me there. You're fooling yourself if you don't believe it, and you're killing yourself if you don't believe it. It's true. Yeah, so there we go. Let's go down some other fun names just to show people where the fear porn really is. It doesn't exist. There was a good one. Colin Powell.
Yeah.
Okay. Why would you say Colin? Why would you call it colon? Well, it's you got your head up your ass, and your L's getting punched. Your power of spirit, Powell, right?
How about Madeleine Albright?
Exactly. Have a look at these things and see who the supposed stars in their movie are, and look at who the stars in our movie is, right? So this is a beautiful allegorical war, and it's not even a war. It's a game. It's a pretty intense game, but all things for a reason.
Yeah. Another nice one, especially seeing the condition the man is in, Mandela. Those round symbolic images, mandala. The man's a walking image, icon, not just literal, but ethereal as well. He's a mandala.
Absolutely.
I just looked up Colin Powell, and he's Colin Luther Powell.
That's a gift thrown in.
And the first word that I've got out of lexigramming his name is power.
Yeah. Cool.
Prowl.
Predator.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of, as soon as I thought of Obama there, I thought of the Queen Mab speech from Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. You know, and that always ties back to the Stairway to Heaven, right? It's just a spring clean for the May Queen. That's Queen Mab, right? So everything connects. And what I've been learning to do more and more every single day, and it takes practice, is to trust myself. Not second guess. It's just a, no, it's that. No, it is. Everything is perfect. I'm going to drill that one home until people get it.
Yeah, my dad had a good one on Obama last. He said, "Oh, bomb ma." So he's going to start throwing bombs on some people's ma.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no. In the mirror, yeah.
Yeah, and what's, original name, Barry Soetoro, right?
Yeah.
Saturno. Bar Society, their light. And again, this is not about making Christ and Antichrist. We are all each the Christ or the Antichrist. We choose which side of the game we're playing. And you can't have a game without two sides, right? We just happen to be the bigger side this time.
Well, you can divide the game in three. It's the royalty in the edges and the pawns in the middle. And the pawns are playing the game. Three sides.
Absolutely.
Trinity,
because you got the game plan and you got the observer, right? Got the referee. The referee. That was one I looked at the other day. I have to go back and revisit it. Because there was somebody that there was a referee just killed in Brazil or something.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Go ahead. I want to hear the giggle. What that's all about.
Oh dear. I'm just doing these guys. I'm just doing Barack, right? So just lexigram. Bombs suck, Boney.
Now we're getting somewhere. Oh man. It's one of those nights, is it? Just kind of.
We still yesterday.
Oh yeah.
He's got scarab in there. He's got Arab in there. He's got bombs. Yeah, and he's so bony anyway, isn't he? He looks anorexic.
Yeah.
He look. If you give him a wig, he'd be a perfect drag queen.
Yeah.
Keep seeing drag on him.
Yeah, it's too bad there's no P in his name. Look for the word Pharaoh in there.
What are the names of the twins in Gravity Falls?
Mabel and Dipper.
Oh, okay. What? Who's Mabon? Mabon. Who's that?
Who?
Mabon.
Mabon. Ambon and Mabon. Hang on, Ambon's in there.
Let me look up that. Where does that word come from? Mabon. Jump to navigation search may refer to Wicca, the autumnal equinox in some versions of the wheel. She was a witch, wasn't she? I'm sure Mabon's something Celtic, yeah. Sabbath, yeah. Mabon.
Yeah, it rings a bell. I'm looking.
Sappho. Yeah, Mabon is something.
Yeah,
and he's got Sam Hain in there, of course.
There you go. I just got tagged by Michael, and he just put his name out perfectly. My call. It is your call, my call.
Special Sabbath day, Miranda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mabon's one of the minor Sabbaths within a paganistic ritual. I don't know. Where the day and the night are equal, as in equinox. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have another caller I'm going to bring in. We got about a little over 20 minutes, so we got area code 281 jumping in here. So get into the fray, kids. Let's play. See what we got. Area code 281.
Hello?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Kate?
Good. How are you?
Good. I got an interesting word.
Okay.
Tetragrammaton.
Tetragrammaton. Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good one. That works for me.
or the four gods, the Egyptian gods, Isis, Ra, Amun, and Atum.
Oh yeah, once we start looking at the words phonically and slicing and dicing and taking all the rules, what we're doing is when we say there's no more rules in the spelling, you're no longer spellbound. The minute you say a word deliberately wrong, that's why they came out with that kids that were having a hard time, quote, spelling, unquote, they brought out phonics, like hooked on phonics, right? So there's another clue, and of course I've got an essay along the same lines. Yep. That's where I inspired, hooked by phonics, right? And that's what we did. Oh, thanks, Mary. The service around here is incredible.
Oh my
Coffee.
God.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Okay, so Barack Obama, I am Bush, an Arab bomber.
Whoa.
Oh dear, wow. It's all there. You can't deny what you're doing.
Isn't Obama or Bush, one of them, far related to Lawrence of Arabia?
Oh, they're all related, aren't they?
They're all related.
They're all one big rib, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, one big happy crime family. It's awesome. But we're changing the game, so
yeah.
Well, look at it. Crime, sin de gate. Sin Dios gate.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Last year I was at Walker's Point up in Maine with David McCullough, who's a kind of a esteemed American historian. He's written a book called John Adams that was made into an HBO miniseries. And we took a trip over to Walker's Point and met Daddy Bush and Barbara Bush. And, yeah, that was quite the experience.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to go fishing with us, but, yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, and even the name Bar Ra. Look up what Bar is.
Goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's supposed to be the daughter of Aleister Crowley, and
yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
Because her mother supposedly did a ritual in France and came back pregnant with Barbara. She looks like him, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game and plot thickens. Isn't it fun?
Yum. You can't write this stuff. This is too good.
Oh yeah,
you can't make.
Well, we did. That's the funny part. We did make this shit up. Boy, are we entertaining ourselves or what? Hey? When you start looking at it from that perspective, it makes a whole lot more sense. You lose all the emotions and you go, oh, okay. It's a movie. All right, so how do we? Okay, now I got to get back in the director's seat, and how do we push this around? And really, it's a baby step on the way back. So it's not a.
You see, all the things lead back to you. You're the puppet master.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or you're the Pinocchio. Choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have Empire of the Colony, District of Columbia.
Yeah, DC current. Of course, we need to be AC current. There's the word actor, AC torus, right? So you've got to be the alternating back and forth current. Instead of what they're trying to do is turn us, control us with direct current. And direct current, as you know, is a very, very powerful. Once you fire the motor up, it doesn't want to stop. So what we need to do is bust that up And the claim of the direct current was pulling one side of the AC, right? The divine feminine.
Wow. Arlington Cemetery. It's
What's
right
that?
across from DC.
Oh, the Arlington Cemetery. Yeah.
It's right from DC, across from DC. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they love powering their batteries up with the dead.
Wow, that's amazing. Oh my God. Wow.
Well, that's why it's 10 square miles, right? That's the Io goddess they're trying to control. And of course, the Washington Monument, the phallus inside the ovum.
Yes,
right?
Yeah. Yep.
But, Olympus has fallen. Already saw the allegory portrayed in the movie Olympus has fallen when the C-130, or the love of the 13th warrior, divine right hemisphere, severed the top of the penis called the Washington Monument. And of course, when it went into the ground, it flipped upside down, hitting left wing first. Cool.
Yeah, it's interesting that number 13.
Well, that's the letter B. Look at World War Z.
Okay,
or World War Z. The letter B, capital B is 13 that has been joined. That's it's all symbolism, right? And what company created World War Z? It was called Plan B.
Whoa. Yeah.
Or the 13th constellation, Ophiuchus.
Ophiuchus, yes.
That's what colonies. Maybe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Hercules had 12 labors, making him the 13, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, go ahead.
Amanda? I'm just looking up Barak, and then I looked up his birthday because he's born on August 4th, and I'm just checking out, August 4th. That's a really interesting date of stuff that's happened. Wow. Where we got Holocaust. It's when a whole load of American civil rights movement activists were killed, found dead. Vietnam War. What else we got here? Holocaust. A tip from a Dutch informer leads to the Gestapo. An Amsterdam warehouse. Greenwich Foot Tunnel under the River Thames is opened. There we go. Underwater tunnels again. And the Central Railway Station in Sydney opens. The Battle of Kos, fought between Turks and the Greeks. Interesting.
The word Barak alone means the shacks they put the Holocaust victims in before they sent them to the gas chambers. The word Barak literally means that.
Oh, okay, because I just looked up Barak and I didn't know he's a biblical chap as well, and I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's the son of from Kadesh, and he was a military general in the Book of Judges.
Wow.
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Wow, but that link, wow. Yeah.
Now we're starting to see how important your birth date is. Go ahead.
If you look at the Tetragrammaton, the 4 letters, see the Yod would be the finger of God, and then the next one would be Pi, which would be the hands, and then the next one would be a paintbrush, which would be like the heart and the spine.
Yeah.
And then the last one would be Pi, which would be the legs, which would be in the image of man and its likeness, the Tetragrammaton.
Very good.
And those 2 pies also make the Vesica Pisces. Those pies resemble 360 degrees.
Mm.
And you need those 2 360 degrees to make a horoscope.
Yeah, and of course then you have 72 with the 36 doubled, which is 9 consciousness again. I'm going to add one more layer of doubling. One of the rules in accounting is the rule of 72. You take whatever the interest rate is, divide it into 72, and it will tell you how many years exactly it will take for that to double itself.
Oh, wow. I've got a loop to the 13th Warrior. What's the first thing in the movie that Ben did when he was allowed to carry a weapon?
Yep. Hey, in The Hobbit, you have 13 doors.
He turned it into a saber. You always fight with 2 sabers. Cross them and you've got the Vesica Pisces.
And of course you've got the word saber in Barack Obama's name.
Oh, well, there you go then.
Yeah, and
of course.
where I'm at right now, Mary, is a Pisces. Just tying it all together, right? Everything ties together.
Yeah. He's the old paradigm still, masquerading as the new one. There he is. I gotcha.
Well, the Emperor, you have no clothes. Time to get naked. Yeah, the allegories, eh? We've got about just under 12 minutes here. I'm going to do the shout-out now, as like I said, I will be rolling off. No recording tonight. Sorry, love you guys. We'll do that tomorrow night. Yeah, just wow, what a day! What a great. I love it when the all-stars show up. Everyone just kind of goes woohoo, and there you are. But well, that.
Did we lose you, Kate?
Hello.
Did Kate get knocked
off?
I'm
here. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. That's my Skype doing the auto mute again. Yeah. Anyway, I just want to say you guys are proof. I didn't need the proof. I already knew it. But the nights that I'm not 100%, bang. I don't need to be. That's why I keep telling everyone we do this together, and you guys carried the show tonight beautifully. Thank you. So that goes without saying, and it must be said at the same time. Great big thank you to criticalmassradio.co.uk. Paul Giovanni, Lisa, crew at Critical Mass Radio, thank you very much for the platform where we know we are changing this planet, this universe, this paradigm daily. Love you.
Love you.
Love you.
Right, back at you.
Pretty cool, eh?
Yeah.
Now, do you believe me how incredibly beautiful and wonderful and awesome goddesses you all are? You starting to believe me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I'm tired of being the only one, you know? Oh, that was an egocentric joke. I like that. That was good. I'm going to keep that one. Yeah. I'll say that for another show.
One good thing is that around this table it is, and it may be an ego thing still, but it is safe to let this part of us show and shine. And that's a gem. That's for me the gem. That's why I come back, sit at the table again and again. Because if I can do it here, I can end up doing it everywhere.
This is the baby step.
Yes.
This to me is the beginning of the yellow brick road.
Yep. Because I'm pretty sure if I step outside, they'll arrest me, put me in a white jacket and say, here, take this, love, you're nuts. So I'm not going to serve myself or the world by doing that.
Exactly.
I'm only prolonging the mindfuck if I do. So one step at a time, one show at a time, and one person at a time.
That's all it takes. I did my whole music gig based on that premise. It didn't matter if I had 1,000 people in the audience or 10 or 100. It didn't matter to me. For me, I went to do every show to get one new fan. That was it.
Yeah.
I had no expectations.
Hey, Kate.
Yeah.
The song this is Brandon. I heard what's your website today? I heard your signature song there.
Oh, Feel the Broken Dreams, yeah.
Oh my God, it was beautiful. I couldn't believe it, and I actually went to the articles. Speaking of synchronicities, tonight, and I went and read. It's a tremendous resource, and read the Hook on by Phonics article just tonight, and so it just seemed to be a coincidence, or coincidence you call it, as Tolkien likes to say. That we would be talking about spelling and naming tonight. And my middle name is Marshall. It's very interesting because I studied the law for it and kind of dropped out of it and now awake to kind of what it really is, thanks to you and others,
Well, that's it. We do this together. Yeah. I mean, you'll bring clues to the table. I'll bring clues to the table. Miranda, Ninja, Patty, everybody. Bindi. Who else we got in here? Brandon and area code 281.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who we got?
Oh, this is Jonathan.
What's that?
Charles.
Charles. Okay, good. So I just want to make sure everyone's included tonight, and of course, everyone that's tuned in is definitely tuned in. There's no question there. But again, look, this is a prime example of everything I quote, preach, unquote, in that you guys did this show. This wasn't mine at all, and I love it. I loved actually just sitting at this table tonight for a change. I got to learn. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, me too. I want to hear more of Miranda's notes on movies now.
Oh yeah, Miranda, the word elf, absolutely. And that's something too. Yeah, that's what we call her. Lexigramming word elf.
Have you ever looked at Tolkien, Miranda? Any Tolkien?
Sorry?
Tolkien.
Have you worked at Tolkien? J.R. Tolkien?
What's my what?
Have you ever looked at J.R.R. Tolkien? Yeah, your connection's not great, Brandon. It always sounds very muffled. So it's
no, I do know him. And what's interesting, I was lexigramming Nikola Tesla the last few days, and of course he's got Tolkien in his name.
Yes. Got that one.
And a lot of other very interesting things in his name. Yeah.
Interesting.
I'll put my website in the room so that you can go there and see my lexigrams and stuff.
Okay. Absolutely. Give your website out, Miranda, then I'm going to roll off with Field of Broken Dreams.
Okay, it's www.wakeydejavu.co.uk. So that's wakeydejavu.co.uk, and I'll put it in there as well.
There you go.
Cool.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And of course, anyone that wants to get a hold of me, get me at kateofgaia.wordpress.com. Thank you very much, Ninja, for putting that together, and some of Ninja's artwork's there as well. Very happy to have it. It's beautiful stuff. And to connect with me directly on Facebook, kate.rene.5, kate.rene.5. And on that happy note, we got enough time just to roll out with Field of Broken Dreams, and I can't say thank you enough, guys, for just a glorious evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you, darling, and have a lovely night on the tiles.
Oh, I will. I got a little bit of a headache, but I'll be okay. I just need more sleep. So much
Maybe
love
a bit
you.
of hair of the dog.
What's that?
Maybe a bit of hair of the dog.
Oh yeah. Got to get on that. Exactly. It's either that or chloroform, one of the two. Anyway. All right, guys. Love you all, and we'll catch you tomorrow night, same time, same place. Be good.
Lots of love.
Don't be sorry.
Don't.
Bye.
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 You're listening to Critical Mass Radio. Now it's our turn.
I've never seen before my eyes this dream.
Yeah.
I've never known what makes this child to see. Like tears from a mountain pouring gently to the sea, a curiosity. Will you dare to touch my soul? Is love so frail that we can't hope to be more than we are, more than our hearts can see? And if for any reason on this field of broken dreams we stand to lose it all, then for you, yes, I do it willingly. If this is our moment, captured in time, always to sustain, for lost in your eyes I find are the only means to remain, searching relentlessly just like a cloud, she chases the rain. We'll stand here firm, 'cause we are an island protected by love on this field of broken dreams. It's never clear, this path of destiny. That's why we're here, to find our need to be. Elusive as a rainbow, we can try to steal her gold, but she'll give it willingly. Will you dare to ask her though? We'll find a way, we must believe in us. There'll come a day, we'll soar, and when it does, the sky will have no boundaries. I will challenge every sea, I will never lose this dream. 'Cause for you, yes, I do it willingly. If this is our moment, captured in time, always to sustain, though lost in your eyes I find are the only means to remain. Searching relentlessly, just like a cloud, she chases the rain. We'll stand here firm, 'cause we are an island protected by love on this field of broken dreams. On this field of broken dreams.
Video provided by verdictproductions.com.